Race number 5 at Ascot over the 1200 metres and mark a really strong 72 plus event here. We've got form lines from a bit higher. Some of these horses are just trying to lift a horse like a Viking Forest coming through as well, but I'm really intrigued about this race.
Yeah, it's a very strong 72 as you mentioned, with all the quality horses coming back for the better races. Adam, let's have a look at that horse you touched on, Viking Forest, winning last start.
Jack and Sam behind those, followed by Invincible Warrior. Under pressure from you watching me, Viking Forest is running on down the outside as Transgressor hits the lead. Transgressor tackled by Viking Forest. Brackets is coming with a mighty run. He's flying on the outside. Viking Forest in front close to home and will get the money.
Really good performance there by this 4-year-old. I remember when we did box seat, just mentioned how this race was going to work out perfectly. There was so much speed in it and Viking Forest was just going to be able to settle off them and then attack the line strongly. Now from barrier 11 they're going to have to do the same again, but there's not that same speed in this race and there's others that have the same turn of foot. So while I was really keen on the galloper last start, I don't have him in my top 4 for this run.
Yeah, it was a nice run home last start. The one behind it, Brackets, later on in the program looks to be a very, very nice hope as well. Adam, the short-priced favourite, which it will be, State Solicitor from the Grant and Alana Williams stable, showed plenty of promise last preparation and he's well related a half to respondent.
The trial was scary. The trial was very, very scary. This horse just loomed up nicely. William Pike just sat there, did not touch it at all. This is a galloper that has won 4 from 5 and certainly showed plenty of class last campaign, beating some nice runners. You only have to go back and see beat Le Patron by 3 lengths, beat All Too Much, which we know the form lines have been really good, by 5 lengths as well. So I can understand this galloper opening up short, but this is a big step up from some graduation races and 64 pluses to a genuine 72 plus against horses like Prophet Street, which are dropping back from the 78 plus. So although I definitely can understand why this is the favourite, and I would not be surprised to see it win, I won't be jumping into anything under a $2 type of price.
Adam, number 4, you mentioned there, Prophet Street. Jason Brown's rides for the G address goes here was excellent first up behind Cool Passion in harder grade.
Really good form lines there. Loves racing first up, 4 attempts, 2 victories and 2 seconds. And this horse flashed home, only beaten a length by Cool Passion, which we know is racing later on in the card. Steps up the extra 100 metres, which I think is ideal. Has never ever lost over 1200 metres. It's 3 from 3. So despite that wide gate, I'm happy to have it on top. 4 Prophet Street from 8 State Solicitor, 7 Let It Slip and 6 Lenience.
Adam, I've got the 8 on top, the short price favourite, State Solicitor from number 7 Let It Slip, 6 Lenience and 12 Viking Forest.
Race number 6 at Ascot, and Mark, we start getting to the business time in the card now. The Group 3 Prince of Wales Stakes over the 1,000 metres, an intriguing affair.
Yeah, cracking weight for age affair, Adam. We'll go straight into the replay though. Last preparation of Vega Magic as a 3-year-old on the 2nd of July. Beating Gigante by 3.5 lengths.
In the field, Temporize and the Dangster. The Prince was tackled by Vega Magic, going by the 250. Little Jake gave him a kick and away he went 2 lengths to It's It Gigante. They beat off the Prince. It's Vega Magic nearing the 100. Over 2.5 in front. He's got them done and he's got them done to a dinner. He's coming away. This has been a big win and he goes on to score at Vega Magic.
I'm really excited to see how this 4-year-old goes. You only have to look at that performance to see how dominant Vega Magic can be. They've always talked about the big races, these types, the Winterbottom and all of these, and now we get to see if this horse is up to the standard. Has raced once over the 1,000 metres for a second. The first up record, 3 attempts, a victory in 2 seconds as well. Drawn nicely. This horse from barrier 2 should be able to get in the exact position it wants. From there, it's a question of class.
On time, he wins this, Adam, compared to a lot of the other horses, but he is stepping up into open company against these more seasoned gallopers with much better form lines. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes, and especially if he cops pressure out in front early on. Be a very interesting first 200 metres of the race, Adam. Up the top there, hard to ignore though, you got Rock Magic, who at its last start won the Idyllic Prince, and then 2 First Among Equals, who won the Belmont Newmarket and the Bolton, and Battle Hero, of course, won the Group 3 Roma Cup so impressively. Over 1,000 metres first up. Be very interesting with all of these.
Yeah, analysing those 3 runners, there's a reason why one stands out to me more than others. Rock Magic drawn in barrier 10 with the 58.5 kilos will have to go back and run on stronger. We know the horse has the class, but I think the 1,000 metres is too short. It wants 12, so that's a little question mark for mine. Battle Hero, William Pike chooses this horse over Regal Commander and Silverstream. Surprises me that he's gone this horse over Silverstream, but he must have a very good opinion of it. Of course, it won the Group 3 Roma Cup, but that was also over 1,200 metres. This horse has never raced over 1,000, so there's a small question mark for mine as well. You then go to First Among Equals, drawn in barrier 3, 6 attempts over 1,000 metres for 4 victories, 3 attempts at the track and distance for 2 victories as well. That is the way that I'll be going here. First Among Equals on top from 5 Vega Magic, 9 Cool Passion and 3 Battle Hero.
Yeah, I'm going number 2 on top as well, Adam. First Among Equals from the 3 Battle Hero. The trial was very sharp. from the 5 Vega Magic and 6 Smoko.
Race number 7 at Ascot. It is the Group 3 Asian Bow Stakes over the 1400 metres, a race where the Cerise and White are going to have a very strong hand again, Mark.
It's another very good race, Adam. Group 3, as you mentioned. We'll jump straight into the replay, though, of the Northerly Stakes over 1400 metres. An Ideal Image flashing home for second.
With Pornichet, here comes Ideal Image with her run. Over on the fence, Vengabus and Perfect Reflection starting to let down with Lightning in My Veins and Disposition. Further out is running on brilliantly. Ideal Image hit the front. Here's Lightning in My Veins, though. It's Ideal Image and Lightning in My Veins. They went to the line close. Great finish.
I've been so impressed with this galloper since returning. Love the trial. I still declare as an absolute moral beaten when Lightning in My Veins beat it when it was held up throughout. And then last up, we saw its class again in the Group 3 Northerly. This time fair and square, beaten by Lightning in My Veins, but a really nice performance nonetheless. The question mark for mine is, though, and it jumped from a wide gate last up, it was barrier 9 and got into the perfect position, but I just don't think it's going to be able to get in that same spot from barrier 11 here, and that for me means it could be in that 3 wide line, which just throws up a couple of question marks. The class is certainly there, though. If she gets a spot, good luck beating her.
The other one of the Peters runners, Neverland, unbeaten, wins second up. The run in the Northerly was really good and hit the line strongly.
I thought this was probably the run of the race, to be honest. If you go back, Neverland was at the back of the field, was held up for a large part of the race, but did get home in the third fastest final 600 metres despite being held up as well and impeded over the final stages. Now from barrier 2, Peter Hall should be able to get into a lovely position. You mentioned that second up record, has never lost, has had 5 attempts at the track and distance for 4 victories as well. I think she can be the one to beat.
It's not all about Bob and Sandra Peters, but they do have another one in here, and it was a last start winner. Heart Starter, of course, is the half to Real Love, the Perth Cup winner who will be running in the Melbourne Cup. Now, this was an impressive win last start. It was in 78 grade. I do question the talent behind it. It beat Chocolate Holic, who then since come out and won a Northern Cup. But Chocolate Holic was 3 wide on that occasion. Probably should have won by about 5 lengths for mine.
This is a horse that's definitely on the improvement, but is the 1400 metres the right distance? I think you and I believe that this horse is wanting that 1800 metres as well. So is class enough to get over a field where class is, you must have it. It's a requirement to be racing in a race like this. I got a couple of question marks as well. No doubt that it'll be liked in the market, but I'm happy to bet against it here, and I'm going to go with the stablemate number 4, Neverland, from 7 Heart Starter, 3 Ideal Image, so the Cerise and White to dominate, and 6 Great Shot.
I'm going with the other stablemate, Adam. Number 3, Ideal Image on top of 4, Neverland, 6 Great Shot, and 7 Heart Starter.
Final race of the day at Ascot. It is over the 1100 metres, and Mark, some horse in some pretty nice form here, and one of those would be Brackets.
Yes, let's go straight into the replay of that horse, running second last start and running the fastest last 600 of the day.
Jack and Sam behind those, followed by Invincible Warrior. Under pressure from You Watching Me. Viking Forest is running on down the outside as Transgressor hits the lead. Transgressor tackled by Viking Forest. Brackets is coming with a mighty run. He's flying on the outside. Viking Forest in front close to home and will get them.
It was a nice performance there by Brackets. Had the wide gate to contend with and still was able to flash home strongly to only lose by 0.8 lengths. Now, did have the favours of the speed in the race. I have this horse on top, but the horse that I'd be putting money on is number 12. Was beaten by Brackets 4 starts ago by 3.3 lengths, gets a 3 kilo swing. Then last start was only beaten 0.7 lengths by Brackets in that same race we just saw the replay of, and gets a 4 kilo swing. So the weight advantage is all with Transgressor here, with Jordan Turner taking the ride as well. So out of those two, although I am tipping Brackets, if you can get a price about Transgressor, I think it's a really nice each-way bet for the card. So
the only 3-year-old of the field as well, Adam, number 14, Speeding Comet, opened up around $10 there, and Peter Nucky rides for Simon Miller. Barrier 4 was run off its feet last start in the Bunbury 3-year-old Classic. Probably not up to that class of those 3-year-olds, so they've decided let's go to a weaker open age race.
Drops in weight, 54 kilos, drawn perfectly in Barrier 4. The form lines are good around Nashville Cat, and even that Iron Boudica, as you mentioned, was outclassed a little bit, but still showed enough on that occasion. I think in a field like this, has to be in your numbers, but I'll go with number 3, Brackets. From 12, Transgressors. I said, if you can get a price, I'd be looking at this horse. From 14, Speeding Comet, and 5, War in Paris.
Yeah, I'm going to 3 as well, Adam. Brackets ahead of number 14, Speeding Comet, 10, Pirate's Fortune, and 12, Transgressor.
Time now to turn our attention to the best bets of the card, and I'm going to go with race 4, number 3, Forever Diamonds, and race 5, number 4, Profit Street, Mark.
Adam, I'm going race 7, number 3, Ideal Image, and race 8, number 3, Brackets.
As we always do say, do follow us on social media. You can see those apps on screen at the moment, and perthracing.com.au for all your event information. Of course, it's not too late to book your Melbourne Cup tickets, and we look forward to seeing you there on Tuesday. Bye for now. Hopefully we found you plenty of winners.